being here. What a great crowd. We're so glad to be back. It's 2025. What the heck? Okay, show of hands. Who's here at a Creative Mornings Shenandoah Valley for the first time? Be kind to our newbies, everyone. So, we took some months off, as you know, and we missed you dearly, and we're so very grateful to Elena for having us here in her space, and her mother for all of the delicious treats. Thank you. And of course, Crucible for keeping us caffeinated, which is why my voice will be all different sorts of pitches. And then, of course, thank you so much to our incredible creatives. We couldn't look as good as we do without you. Holly and Heather, thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to read us our Creative Mornings Manifesto because it's been a while since we've gathered, and it's important for us to stay aligned with our mission, which is everyone is creative. A creative life requires bravery and action, honesty and hard work. We are here to support you, celebrate with you, and encourage you to make the things you love. We believe in the power of community. We believe in giving a damn. We believe in face-to-face connections, in learning from others, in hugs and high fives. We bring together people who are driven by passion and purpose, confident that they will inspire one another and inspire change in neighborhoods and cities around the world. Everyone is welcome. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Annika. But first I have to, she's going to introduce Elena, but first I have to say, I have a shop, Burrow and Vine, downtown on Beverly Street, and in the early days of building my shop, I saw this incredible, stylish couple walking down the street, and they looked into my shop and this dirty human, and they were curious and interested in what I was doing, so I felt truly honored. And then from there, I just was convinced I needed to be in Elena's orbit somehow. So like all really confident, stalking women, I made an appointment for hair at her salon, which was in her home in this adorable little space that I just wanted to live in and stay in forever. So to see her grow into this big, beautiful space with this incredible team that she's built is just so amazing, and I love to be a part of this community of business owners. So,
I am really curious. Could you raise your hand if if you don't currently reside in Stanton? And could you keep your hand up if you are not from the Shenandoah Valley, but farther away? Is anyone here who doesn't currently live in the Shenandoah Valley? Okay, where did you come from?
Lexington.
Lexington, okay, great. And you came in from?
Came from Ridge, West Virginia.
West Virginia. Do we have anyone who came from farther away than West Virginia? All right, well, round of applause for Lenny. And I know that Lee Maxim, our ASL translator, also drove in from West Virginia this morning with Lenny to be here. Thank you so much. All right, for those of you who have never been to Creative Mornings or who have forgotten or haven't been here in a while, it really has been 3 months. I did the math. It was end of November, December, January, February. We took 3 months off. It didn't feel like it because there's a lot of planning that goes on behind the scenes, but it feels like I haven't seen you in 3 months. So, Creative Mornings is the largest face-to-face creative community in the world. By now, there are 270 chapters scattered all around the world, and we are one of them. And as you know, we are one of the very few rural chapters they've accepted in because we made the case for all of us beautiful people that we need a space to gather and that we want to be part of this global movement. We are volunteer run, as I think most of you know by now, because we keep droning on about that. But it's because we are really passionate about creating a space for all of us to come together, to be in community, to talk about the things we care about, to share a meal, share a cup of coffee, and just see each other and have a space to be in together. Today's topic is layers. As you know, there's a global theme every month that all 270 chapters will talk about. And the theme this month is layers. Simplicity gives us a lot of clarity. And as we start adding in the layers, things become a little bit more complex. And I think just we as humans, we are not simple. We have a lot of layers. We have a lot of different personalities. We have a lot of experiences and perspectives that shape us. And I believe that each of these put another layer on top of another layer, which is beautiful because humans are not simple. We have so many layers and it makes us complex and it makes us messy, and really we're all just glorious onions. And I believe that coming together in a space like this allows us to peel back some of those layers. I hope that the more you come, the more you feel like you can leave some of those layers outside the door. I hope that you have conversations that encourage you to take off some of those layers and let people see you for who you really are, and not have to have all of these crappy layers on top. So that is my hope for you, that today you can peel back some of those layers, that you feel safe enough, that you feel seen, to be comfortable to let that go. And no one better than Elena Broadbent herself to talk about her layers and talk to us about what that process was like for her. I also have a little anecdote about Elena. So I worked in the Shenandoah Valley before I was able to move here. And when I closed on my house in Stanton while sitting in her Airbnb. And I think the next day, Sarah Jones, everybody! Thank you, Sarah! And the morning after we had closed in our house, my husband was back in North Carolina, I was in her Airbnb. The morning after, I walk up the street, come back from a meeting, and she's outside just watering her plants, talking to someone. I hadn't really seen her. I'm like, hi, I'm Annika. She's like, hi, I'm Elena. This is my Airbnb, and I have a salon. And I'm like, oh, great, I'm moving here. I'm gonna need a hairstylist. So she was probably like, who is this German person? But I remember that because I thought, oh my God, this feels like I've already come to the right place. And then I think similar to Megan, I started out in her small home salon, which was really, really gorgeous and pretty. But then, Elena, watching you grow from moving out of your home into this gorgeous space and going from 2 people to, I don't know how many stylists you have, but just layering all of these complexities can be really scary because suddenly there's a lot more to consider, there's a lot more to manage, but it has been such a joy to watch you grow and watch you expand and put all these layers in and created this space. If you look around for this artwork, Sarah Jones, who I just shouted out. This is her logo, and Sarah Jones was our very first ever Creative Mornings speaker, so this feels very full circle. And just a little bit more about Elena. Even though she doesn't look a day over 27, I think we can all agree, she's actually been doing hair for 23 years. She's been on her own for 8 years running her business, and if you get a chance to talk to her, if you already know her, you know that for her it's not just about cutting hair. For her it's about helping people embrace their natural hair, their curl, and I am so thrilled to see that you are growing this team of people who help you bring that vision to life. And I'm so thrilled to be here. So please, a round of applause for today's speaker, Elena!
Don't be scared. I'm scared. I'm saying that to me. So, what did you guys think of when you heard the theme today? Layers.
Hair.
Oh, you did? I actually thought of hair. Maybe you guys would, but yeah, I definitely can't invite you in without talking about hair.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give you a couple of examples of a haircut with no layers and a haircut with layers. What do y'all think? Which one do we like?
Layers!
That's a great answer because we're this actually reminds me a lot of my very first job interview. I worked at the hair cuttery and I had to do a layered haircut on a mannequin. And the way they had the salon set up, there were stylists on one side doing their beautiful work and the shampoo bowls on one side, much like here. And I had to hold the mannequin, shampoo its hair, and then turn on the water. And I forgot to hold the hose. So the hose just sprayed everyone in the whole shop. They sprayed the stylist, they sprayed myself. Yeah, I got everybody. And then I proceeded to give the world's worst layered haircut. But guess who got the job? And I think it was because they saw my potential and my love for my craft. And yeah, they wanted to work with me, so I was really proud to start there. But I think that that's how a lot of people feel when they're first walking into a salon. They're nervous and don't know what to expect, and they have all this anxiety. That's really why I wanted to create this space, is so that people feel more comfortable coming into the space with their beautiful curly hair, so that I can help them embrace it and enhance it, and they can leave more confident than when they came in. Guys, I'm so nervous.
We're all staring.
Speaking of anxiety, I myself actually did have a lot of trauma with my hair. I had several experiences going into the salon. My mom is saying yes. They didn't know how to work with my type of hair, and they were scared, and I was scared. But eventually, I knew with time that people embracing their layers and in their hair and in their life, it can be much more beautiful. So it took me time to get to that point. And I'm so proud to have this space where I invite people in who maybe have some anxiety. My goal is to help them embrace and enhance their curls so that they can build trust, so that I can layer their hair. And really, as we talk, it becomes so much more than about just the hair. We peel back those layers, we dig into their lives, we feel connected, and that is what actually does build the trust. I figure out their belief system, why they move through life the way that they do. We cry together a lot of the times, and really, truly, that is why I love doing the work that I do. I've been doing hair now for 23 years. I spent the first 8 years of my career at the hair cuttery in Charlottesville. I learned so much there. I worked with 30 women. I was 16 when I started, so they scooped me up like their little baby. They taught me the ways of the world, and I also got to work with a lot of different hair textures there, being a college town. But I was ready for something a little bigger, and I moved to Stanton and got a job at a more high-end salon where they taught me all about experience for the guest. I wanted to, and they helped me to learn how to treat my guests with priority and with care, and not just move through for 30 minutes with each person. And they also really had a big focus on education, which was somewhat newer to me, so I was really excited to start traveling and going to different places and learning from these really amazing hair artists. But I was ready for something more. I then had the goal of moving into my own salon inside my home, which these guys talked about. I wanted to create a space that was very homey and felt like I was welcoming you into my space. And that really definitely was wonderful. I loved every part of it, but then I wanted even more, so I opened this space about 1.5 years ago. Starting a business absolutely cracked me open in a way that I wasn't expecting. I was, yeah, sorry, I forgot. I definitely came face to face with some real emotions. I was scared, and I didn't know if people would come with me to my new space, and I felt like I had to put myself out there in a way that I wasn't super comfortable with. I was dealing with embarrassment, and I felt like, is what I'm putting out there actually who I am? And if that is who I am, will people even like it? So I had to work through all of those layers in myself with professional, thankfully. So I've definitely worked through that, and now I feel more confident moving through my life the way that I do, and I'm okay being in front of some people. I also found in my business that I had to layer up with some healthy boundaries. I was scheduling a year in advance, and if I got a little tickle in my throat, I would cry because I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna get these people back in if I'm sick. So I made some big shifts going forward with that. I had way back down my schedule from scheduling a year out. I now only schedule 8 weeks in advance. So it allows me to have way more flexibility and peace of mind. So those boundaries have definitely really helped me to not be burned out, which is a real reality in this business. We like to work really hard. So with the help of a business coach, I found that layering in systems into my business really helped. I was on the phone all the time, texting all hours of the night, all weekend, talking with clients, but I was able to build a website that helps the client flow to be able to come in very easily. An informative website, and then doing customization forms and consultation forms before they come in, so that we're prepared and we know how to work with them. Also, having a really active and informative Instagram has been helpful, and creating my brand. And I learned through all of this that a brand is not just about font and colors and your logo. It's more about the feeling and the vibe that you put out there, not only in the online world, but also when you come into the space, it all flows. So I really was proud of that, and I am proud of that, and I've learned a lot. I built that website with no technical savvy at all. I learned about market positioning, but the biggest thing that I learned through these classes was how to have a life balance while scaling my business. I was ready for more, so I really took a deep dive on the gaps in this local market, and I found that there was a serious gap in the curl world. There's lots of hairstylists that work with straight hair, but none really that work with curly hair. So I dove into that zone of genius because I actually really liked doing curly hair already. It was already my thing, but there was even more of a need I saw. So when I shifted my focus to really market towards people with curly hair, the floodgates absolutely opened. I was doing about 3 to 4 new guest requests a month when I was in my in-home salon. It grew to 40 when we moved here. And now we're getting about 70 to 100 guest requests a month. So I needed help. It was really scary for me to think about adding more people, more layers into my business, because it's my baby. It was like the thing that was all mine, and I took care of it, and I focused on it, and nobody else could do it the same way that I could. But I needed to because I was getting tired. So I brought on my apprentice, Skylar. Training and working with her made me remember how much I love collaboration. We had so much fun. I also remembered how much I love teaching, and passing on my knowledge to the next generation was really empowering for me. So then, let's see. I definitely wanted to say that I had fear around that. I can't remember if I said that already, but bringing that extra person in to my vision, but adding this layer into my business has taken it to the next level and really did start to change my path forever. So thanks, girl. Then along came Tiffany. In her words, she was a moth to the flame. She literally just showed up in my salon and was like, I'm gonna work here. I wasn't ready. I was still in my other salon. I didn't have a chair for her. But she just came and she would sit there and absorb the vibe, and she soaked it up like a sponge. And I found out later that our visions and missions really aligned in a way that I didn't think was possible. And over the year and a half now, I think, we've built this really cool trust, and I've let her take a good portion of my responsibility, which was scary, had to break down telling her. But it's really helped me out so much in my business and in my own life balance to be able to hand off some of those things to her. She's actually doing this really cool class for our newer stylists where it's called the Elevated Learning Experience, and they come in every other Friday and they learn about hair techniques to hone the hair techniques, but more importantly, life techniques and business. So it's a really special thing. So, and now that we have Jennifer, Elena, and Izzy, the other Elena, their students, I have more time to invest in their futures because I've given off some of the extra work. And it's really cool to see them entering the industry at a time where they can have life balance. This was not what happened before in this industry. So I'm trying to instill that into them so that they can work for wealth. And by wealth, I mean not just money. That's not the focus. Our focus is having time and health and time with your family. So those are really important to all of us. So we want to make them wealthy also in money too. But by layering these beautiful humans and perspectives and energies into my business, it has elevated all of us. So now that I have all this support around me, I have time to focus on the big picture operations. I'm always tweaking my branding. I'm always trying to find ways to elevate my guest experience. I'm running the numbers to evaluate growth. I'm adding to the website and finding top-notch education to keep us relevant. So, and always adding and refining my product line. The other thing that I've gained is having more focus and time and energy to have an impact on my community. So we have wonderful collaborations with people like Sarah Jones, who did my beautiful artwork in my space. Amanda Schrader, I've worked with her with the Skirt Project, and her goal is to empower women. Heather Goodlow, my amazing photographer. And all my plants from Burrow and Vine. And Candy Stevens, my amazing social media manager. So I'm super proud and happy to be collaborating with all these amazing women. So business is a lot like layering a haircut. If you mess it up, it will grow back. Every business move won't be a perfect one, but that's okay. There is beauty in the imperfection. So take the pressure off, stop relying on yourself, and build an amazing support system around you. Trust the process, be brave, it will be totally worth it in the end, just like a beautiful layered haircut.